out this Monday after a year and a half of no college. So, doing a few other things. Gonna be lifting. Anyways, get my leg surgery done, get a job or whatever. But thankfully, I don't have to walk around campus with a cast on. I have stuff racked up, special like everything for it. It's crazy. For those 4 months, um, all custom. Anyways, so I'm building a computer in the meantime. I figure that I probably will have all my parts around Christmas, maybe even November. I could start building it, and then I could build it over Christmas, and that'll be that. I'm not going to get into that, but I have a question or maybe solution. Since it's my first build, I really don't know much, and I don't want to put all this time and effort into going into this is left for me, left field, so to speak. Um, I see a couple videos addressing it. I see Linus with his water cooled motherboard. Really interesting with the 390 chipset, or 390 chipset for the 1151. What is it? Version 3, whatever, generation 3 um, of that chipset. And then I saw Bowers um, with the chipset cooler. And what I think would have mounted was that it's a good idea, but you have this little dinky fan trying to cool it, and you could just have a passive heater, and if you could blow air over it, and that's the problem, which I keep seeing all the time. You have front fans in, and they have back fans in, and all this shit that happens in here. The front fans that come in, mostly all the force is to draw that air in, and how much of that force is left over to actually blow across the motherboard, And so what I'm thinking is that if I could take another bracket, I don't know, I have to figure it out when I get there, how I'm going to mount those fans, and make sure there's more force directly flowing over the motherboard to cool the chipset and all those other components, whatever they are, transistors, all that other shit, right? Including the chipset, so you could, what goes into the natural cooler, this is all air cooled, so this is my thinking. Have that force for those fans be mostly concentrating and drawing in. And honestly, I don't know what percentages, I don't know the math, I'm not going to do into it, but to me, it stands for reason at a rational level that a lot of that force is to bring that air in. Now, once that air in, I think you should have additional fans directly focused on blowing that air that's brought in to force that over the motherboard. So, is there going to be room for it? How are you going to do it? It's going to be on a case by case, literally case by computer case basis and case by case basis to find out having a fan to blow that air that's now into the case over there, so you don't have like weak air just forming eddies and little stuff like that, little heat areas. They're just circulating hot air at some significant level. I'm just saying it's indefinite, that little circle, but it could build up in heat, but you just constantly blow that heat out and then have those back fans concentrating and destroying that air out, right? So that's my thinking. So that's why I want to get a solder gun and try to figure out how I'm going to mount it. That's you could still upgrade, so you can still readily take it apart and upgrade it to make sense. It does what it's intended to. It's feasible above all. It does what intended. I don't know if it's worth it, but to my understanding, it would be. That's why I'm stating it. Because you got to look at it like this: you got ambient temperature outside, you got ambient temperature inside the case, and you want to have those as much as equalized as possible. How do you do that? Get as much air as going through the case as possible without blowing the components over, right? So one thing is to make sure you have an effective way to draw heat off the motherboard, and as in the Bowers video I just saw, that you can't really do that because you have that little thinking fan. It's better just have the passive thing, so you get that heat as much as you can off of it with those heat sinks. So you have something blowing again over it with the good air cooler. So that's another thing. That's another issue, but I'm not going to address it because literally, I don't have it in front of me. I haven't built it. It's all theoretical. Um, Hence, I'm making this video. But watching Jay's 2 cents and Linus's, I think those are two ones. Jay Jay's ones with the blower and everything. Just seeing what would happen with like an air blower for fans. But then again, you have heat generated from uh, the blower machine, from the blower, because now you have hot air going over it. So it's not really ambient temperature. With Linus and his massive crew, you were able to have like basically a wind tunnel. Just blow it out, and you can see the parts are shaking and shit. Not exactly, work in the real world. However, additional fans to have as much air circulating as possible. Now, there's a thing there'll be trial and error to get as much positive, negative. I think it was negative, positive, so more air coming in and out. That's to be touch and go. I think you would first want to make sure you have as much air blowing over those components as possible, and then you would try to get it neutral. You know, I see the smoke and everything, but that's way too much. You That's probably too high end over here. I'm probably focused on trying to emulate Linus's video where that air could blow as much as possible. I think one key term or one key concept was in there is that the air changeover rate or something of that nature is very quick. Like, I think they did the math. It's like half a second, some milliseconds, some shit like that, right? So that's what you're trying to do. Get whatever your temperature in the room to be inside. Get inside the case, and then that, which is never going to be the same. And that's the actual temperature, which is going through the air cooling for your CPU, chipset, and all the other stuff. So you keep looking out here. That's not what the temperature is. You got to look in there. So you want to get inside. What's that temperature and remove it? I'm talking about two things, and reducing the force of, or increasing the force of air going over it. And you got to understand, like, you see fans and it's like right there, that's your motherboard, but it's not necessarily the case. All of that energy is really significantly concentrating getting air inside. And I don't know how much it is, but I know it's something to be concerned with. People are talking about eddies and stuff like that, and they see it. So you want all that to further gather that, and they shove it and blast it right across the motherboard. That's my contribution. What I'm talking about, my concern, is it going to be effective? That's what I'm going to try, without putting way too much effort. But I think it'll be significant. Want to isolate a few things like the PSU. So I do have a 1500 watt top one. My thinking is if I could have it blow up, put a cover over it, shoot it out this way, and then that top piece would get pretty warm. But if I could put another piece on there with an air vent, right? So you got two pieces of metal right there. One right there, that laps over, and another one. So air blows through there, acts as an insulator, because now it heats up this thing, and then it will heat up that air in there, right? So if I could blow that air out, and then I have air on top, then I have another plate. So add air acts as an insulator, heat up that air, and that'll be that, So as the air comes in, it's not going to be blowing that hot air from the PSU. It's be blowing out. That's my thinking. So it'll be significant. And why am I doing air? Just because of longevity. It'd be easy to come in there, take a blower. Now that I know that you don't, I was a vacuum guy. I'm the one that said, I didn't know. I used to use a vacuum very delicately, but I'm super precise. So it works for me. I forget how dumb people are. Sorry. Oh my God. I would have freaked out, I'm talking about if I fucking sucked up shit, but yeah. I'll blow it up. It just takes, it's very mindless. You just go, just do it. You're all good, I'm talking about. And vacuum the other, sweep the other shit up later, But, no, But I could easily just go in there and clean it with a vacuum, whatever, and it's good. I'm done. with water. But it's too far out. It's the time and energy. I need my computer to function as a couple things, gaming, which is obviously the most fun and everything, but I need to do other stuff I can't talk about. Um, I don't really want to talk about my stocks and that kind of thing, what I'm building wise, and actually building a bunch of apps together to do what I need to do is really what I'm doing. Um, and every day, glorified word processing, and just the everyday use of the computer. And yes, I am going real estate, and then so the thing is, I need my thing to be focused on that, which is going to make me money, and those things that my passions and my dreams. You know what I'm talking about? Of course, some of these people who know way more above me, the passion dreams aren't one big city up an aspect of that is building computers. They have like that area is fulfilled. They know a lot, and they're able to do other things with that. You know, whatever that is. You know, travel, cars, money, girls, this, that, and the third. You know, gaming. So I can't really focus so much time on this over here on computers. You know, I need to do those other things because those other things is going to support what I want to do for fun. And some of it's gaming. Don't get me wrong, but I just wanted to throw that out there. Um, you know, how can you put air across that motherboard? Do you have to build a mount, a custom mount? Probably. Is it way into left field? My not figuring out something. It's more of a Gaber's Nexus thing or whatever because they constantly do case designs, but in the end result, you have this box and you have these two. Basically, you're situated statically where the fans always are, and you don't know what's in the middle. You can't really adjust it, you know. So it would have to be a custom bracket to physically move more air over. I mean, where I got this idea is from basically Noctua and my Be Cool cooler, the Dark Pro, Dark whatever the fuck it is. It had came with two fans, and then I already added a third onto it, and so it just makes more sense because more air is going over it. You know what I'm talking about? So a lot of these things is common sense, but it has to be backed up with math or whatever. But again, how can you really calculate all the math and all the forces and how the air is going to move when a piece of wire is going to change that force diagram? See what I'm saying? And so I'm just looking at the bigger aspects, the macros of it. Significant force reduced just to bring it in, and then again, let's just have it, you know, supercharged right over the thing, and not this little dinky fan that sort of technically would work or whatever. But you know, to have the air change out from the outside, the ambient, to the air inside the case, that ambient case temperature and outside, because that's the real temperature you should be concerned with, is getting that as low as possible to change over. Okay, that's basically what I said in a nutshell. I don't want to beat a dead horse and everything. I don't know really what I'm asking, other than that's fucking ridiculous. Don't do that shit. You're gonna waste a lot of time on trying to resolve a problem that really is not gonna have much of an effect. I guess really what I'm asking is I'm about to go in pretty deeply into that modding a case for it. All right, I'm good. I got to do a lot of stuff, but that's my question. I don't know. Man, it's like you put these big ideas and you put so much time and effort, and you get like that much from it. If I could just focus a little bit more, I'll be all right.